Hi, my name is Ricardo Wyngaard, and today I want to talk about the topic of membership within non-profit organizations. But before I get to that, I just want to mention that I'm in the Eastern Cape and I'm sitting in a hunting lodge that was built in 1822. It's on a farm called Glenavon, and it's just outside of Somerset East. It's the facility is today used as a bed and breakfast. So if you're in the area, if you're into, history and heritage, I think this is quite a nice place to visit. So let's look at membership within non-profit organizations. One of the important issues to consider when setting up a non-profit organization is firstly the kind of legal entity. The other issue that's also important is about membership, whether or not the organization should have membership. Now, this issue that we're talking about today applies to any non-profit legal entity, whether it's a voluntary association, a non-profit trust, or a non-profit company. You basically have the choice of deciding whether or not you go for a membership or a non-membership organization. Now we're going to talk about the basics, the sort of in-between issues to consider. We're not going to deal with it in that much detail. We're just going to deal with the basics. So when I talk about voting members, I normally refer to members who've got two significant rights. The one is the right to appoint and remove the board members of the organization. And secondly, the right to amend the founding document, whether it's the Constitution, the trust deed, or the Memorandum of Incorporation. So if the members have got those two rights, it means that they're effectively the highest decision-making body within the organization. So the board has got the responsibility to govern the organization, but the members have got the highest decision-making body because they would appoint and remove board members and also make changes to the founding document of the organization. So within that context, we're dealing with membership. Now, generally, there are about 4 reasons as to why organizations would choose having voting members. And it might be one of those reasons, it might be one or more of those reasons. There might be other reasons as well, but we're not covering those today. So the first reason that I come across relates to accountability. So if you appoint, say, board members within the organization, then they would account to the members. So you would have, at an annual general meeting, and the board members would account to the general members, and also they would be removed and new board members would be appointed. So there's a bit of the concept of democracy then built into the organization with voting members. Secondly, it relates to advocacy. Let's say the organization is focused on advocating for the rights of, say, children. Now, the more members you have, voting members, that demonstrates support for your advocacy efforts when you say lobby at parliament, whether it's local government or provincial government or national government. Often you might be asked, but who do you represent as an organization? And if you can say we've got a list of 500 members that are all interested in the rights of children, then that would be beneficial to your cause. And then thirdly, the third reason for why membership is used, voting membership, is because of resources. So let's say you've got 500 members and they pay a membership fee annually. That would of course be a resource to the organization. And if you put all of those factors together, in essence, sometimes we can achieve more if more are involved. So combining our efforts, whether it's amongst individuals or as organizations or as individuals and organizations, sometimes we can achieve our objectives better in doing so. Now that's in theory why some organizations have membership organizations. Does it mean that you always have to have voting members to get the benefits of the reasons why we just spoke about? Let's see. So before we get into some of the practical issues regarding membership, I just need to emphasize that there is the technical side of membership. So as I was saying, members, if it's voting members, they're effectively the highest decision-making body within the organization. That means when you have to have meetings. When you do meetings, you also need to make sure that there's a quorum and notices are being issued. There are also requirements relating to AGMs, and so it's important to take that into account if you consider the option of membership. Now, these are some of the issues that I think are important to take into account. It's not a complete list, but it is issues to consider for the organization when you decide on going voting or non-voting membership. So the first issue is whether voting membership is the best option for the organization. Now, it might be possible for an organization to say, well, we can achieve accountability, advocacy, mobilize resources, we can be more effective if we have membership or supporters of the organization that do not vote within the organization. They don't form part of the governance of the organization. And I think that's an important question to ask. Let's say, for example, you do lobby on the rights of children. Now, if you can get a petition signed by, say, 500 supporters, that could be as effective as having voting membership. But the difference with that is that with voting membership, there's legal responsibilities. With supporters, there's no legal responsibilities in the context of governance. So that's an important issue to consider. Sometimes people want to get involved in an organization, but they don't want to have membership within the legal definition of membership. So I can give an example. A few weeks ago, I was at a meeting, and it was supposed to be a membership meeting, and I noticed when I arrived at the meeting that most of the chairs were empty. Now that told me something. It's either that people didn't get the notice, or they did get the notice, but they're not really interested in the official business of the organization. So if you have a situation like that, then you have to consider whether membership will make a meaningful contribution to the organization. Which is my second point, in that, in some organizations I've seen that they've got members, but they're not really making a contribution in the sense of being members within the 4 reasons I've just offered. So with one annual general meeting I attended, there were only 12 members, individual members at the meeting, and there were about 9 board members. Now, all the board members were general members, so there were like 3 extra general members at the meeting. So my question is, do you need general members? What's the value that the general members in that context will add to the organization? And that wasn't cleared up for me at the meeting. So that is, in a nutshell, the issue of voting and non-voting membership. Please keep in mind that if you set up as a non-profit company, and if you go the route of membership, there are specific conditions relating to membership in the Companies Act, and it's important to make sure that the organization or the company does comply with those specific provisions. Thank you for having watched this video. If you like it, please click on the like button below, and you're welcome to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The intention is to bring out more videos like this. Thank you.